Welcome to the Artisan of Glimmers, a puzzle game. I already played it a bit, so the first 10 words also won't be played. Click and drag to explore. Scroll to zoom. Dearest esteemed artisan, thank you for accepting my invitation to restore the artworks of Glimmers. On that point I have only one request. When shaping each piece of glass, you must follow the rules very closely. I care only about the shapes. Let your creativity run free with the colors. Yours truly, Elias Willingness. Progress is saved automatically. Click and drag to merge regions, and here is the rulebox shape bank. All regions must be this shape. It's a small square in a corner. It needs to get out. Same as you. That's the puzzle completed. Right click and drag to erase. All regions must be this shape. 3 corners. To get out of this cul-de-sac, they need to both get out and thereby they join. Now this repeats 3 times. Shapes can be rotated, so shape 2 times 1 can be placed horizontally. This is a cul-de-sac again. You set to undo, Y to redo, and R to restart. Again, 2 times 1 needs to get out. You can choose colors freely, even after completing the panel. All regions must be this shape, so you need to get out and it can't be the same, so you must turn away from each other. Mirror reflections of shapes can also be used. Now, this one, this needed to get out, can't go downwards, needed to extend it. The same as you need to turn here, in this direction. You are 3 long, so you need to turn to complete. Now this needs to go out 3 more to turn and finish the puzzle. Dearest artisan, I hope this letter finds you in the best of spirits and creative fervor. There is much work to be done. These window frames show your restoration progress. Each glasswork you restore contributes to a window. Complete windows to progress onward. Yours truly, Elias Willingness. Essentially the words. Drag from corners along dotted lines to place metal borders. Use them to mark edges you are absolutely sure of. So, this block is 2x3, so to get out here it must be a part of the tomb. See. This is a 4 tile wide area. This 3 would leave a 1 tile gap, so must be part of 2 tubes. Now, here's another tile white region, and here's the last. Limits pitch window complete, but it can be upgraded further. Drag the camera around to find secret puzzles. In a this shapes corner. Or if this wouldn't connect, it would turn here or here and isolate it. So these two must join. The same logic is true here. If these were separated, they isolate each other. Now this region here is another region, and it must be different from this place because otherwise it leaves an area of 4 remaining. So they needed to go out and finish the puzzle. So this place here is restricted. It can either be this one, which is not possible because it leaves a line of 4, which the shape can't complete, or it does this. This needs to get out and form a 3L, so it must turn. And you as well. The window just became silver. And there's one more puzzle. It's down there. All ranges must be this shape. The shape forms an incomplete ring, and this area as well is a ring. So the ring can either go around like this or like this, because otherwise the corner would be in one of these and not be possible to be filled in. So this shape is common in every rotation of the shaping. And this continues on for every one of these rings. This is one, this is part of one, and this is part of one. Now, the red blocks the orange, so orange needs to go around like this, and orange blocks red. And that's the puzzle. That's the last puzzle. The window is now golden. Now, into the next window. Switch colors quickly with keys 1 to 9 or the scroll wheel. Regions either a 3 long or a 3 corner. To get in here, it must be a 3 long. And to get out of the corners, it needs to turn. Use tab to switch to coloring, border drawing, and note-taking modes. All regions involve these shapes, a 4 long or a square. So the square can't be in these regions, so it must be part of the long one. And thereby go at least 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still needs to go, and now can only do it here, which pushes the other shape forward. This can no longer can't form a way, so it must be part of a square. Square in a corner can be filled in, and square is left over. You can complete the entire panel in border drawing mode if you prefer, or depends. All regions must be one of these shapes, 3 long or an S-determiner. The S tetrominoid can't fit in this. It must be a long sweep. In this corner can only be an S, and here can only be an S. This can't be a Y, or it was isolated system, these two. So it must be now. The two here can only be filled in by a Y. And the S is filled in. So it's the last possible shape. Shift-click or middle-click to place metal ball orders around an entire shell. You can use this to mark regions that you are absolutely sure of. Yeah, you might have noticed I already used this mechanic. All regions must be one of these shapes, a 3 long or a 4 long. So the 4 long includes the 3, so everything must be at least 3. Everything that needs to get out of the cold effects, I mean. This would be isolated if it doesn't join, and same as you. Now these two need to get down. Now if these need to connect up. Borders must always separate two different regions. This one target can only be part of a ring. Schließes wären now these two are different and they can only be squares, which means they grow to at least either here or there. Now this would be isolated if it doesn't join. Same with you. And these are two squares left over. Because again the ring couldn't fit. Each puzzle has a single unique solution. 2s and 3 corners. To get in here, at least 2. You can't go any further, and if this one turns, it leaves an area of 3 left over, and it can't be filled in by these 2 shapes, so it mustn't turn. And the 4 area is divided as 2. Glimmer's overlook window. Puzzles can always be solved with logic. Guessing is never required. And I will not use guessing, I always try to find a logical path into it, even if the solution may be already apparent. Let's see, you need to get out and you need to get out, so you need to join. This continues. This need to get out. The corners and left over is the 3. There's the camera cannot be rotated. Let's do this first. The first step here is not obvious. Instead of guessing, try joining cells that you know are connected. To get out of this corner, both shapes do a corner. Turn. Now, this one can't be part of the same region because it's not a valid shape and also because it touches the border. Would be on both sides of the same border. Now, this is another folder swag, which returns. You need to get out and turn. This need to get out by one. This need to get out by one. Okay. Border und Shape Logic, they can't join, so red needs to go further. Is now already the L shape, which pushes green further, which pushes green out, and green in turn pushes red out. It is now finished. Green can't take this square because it's isolated to region. So does it do it? No, this needs to get out. needs to get out and can turn upwards. Get so it's an L shape and you again. So do the same. All readings must be one of these small square or big square. The small square is part of the big square, so the corners of the grid must be at least a small square. So now this is restricted because if it's only a small part of a small square, it leaves a one tile gap here, so it must go to a big square and can only grow one more to each side, so it must do it. These two can't grow anymore. The grid is symmetrical, so the same logic is also valid here. It can be small square because it will be one. And grow right to big square, and these are finished growing. Silver. There's still one more. And it is located down there. All readings must be one of these shapes, 3, 4 or 5, so at least a 3 for each of the cul-de-sacs. This would be isolated if it doesn't join to a river. This would be isolated if it doesn't join down. Still need to go, which separates you. And this one needs to go, and it can't be vertical, so it must join here. This needs to join to its partner, and this needs to go outward, and it couldn't join here because it would form a 6. And the max is a 5. So, Glimmers Overlook is now also golden.